Hi everyone, I'm Silverwolf, and this pile of fur and things will become, when I finished, a Furby. I've decided to make a Furby plush. After all this time, people have been asking me for a long time, when are you going to make Furby plushies? Maybe you should make a Furby plush. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to make a Furby plush. It's going to be not based on any particular model, and hopefully it'll be super cute. I've already got the eyes for it. They look a bit weird because they're not attached to anything. And I'll be making the eyelids and the beak out of polymer clay, and hopefully putting on some fake eyelashes to make it a little bit more Furby-like. So, time to cut this material. So, from the pile of the material, I have actually cut now the pattern pieces. I've sewn some of them together. This is going to be the front of the Furby, that's his tummy. And these back pieces here, which include the fur that goes along his back, that's his mane. And these are the sides of him. The only issue is I have actually made a mistake with these. This is just a prototype, so it doesn't matter really, but it's a bit of a pain because it won't allow me to judge the pieces accurately. This one is correct. I drew out the shape like that and made it sort of like go like that at the back, so he's got sort of like a bottom at the back. This one here, you can see that is the shape with the bottom. What I actually did was I cut these two pieces because I was running out of the material, and I wanted to make the most of what I had to make sure I could get all the pieces out of that piece of material. I accidentally cut this piece the same, so instead of doing a front and a back, I did both of them facing the same way, which is why this one is now wrong. I originally sewed the mane down that side, but of course then you've got two pieces that are the same. You can't sew them together because they'll basically be with the mane one side of one piece and the mane the other side of the other piece. So because I cut it the wrong way, I'm now left with something that's got a little bit of a dent in it. It should be okay if I sew very sort of like close to the edge and then go like that. I should be able to just get the normal sort of side shape the same as that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll be okay. He's also got ears, and there are his feet, and he's going to have a tail with the fluff ball on the end of it, so like that over there, similar to what I did on my Fiery. I have also done a short-tailed variant as well. So let's see how this goes. Here we have the Furby mostly put together. I say mostly because there's a small hole that I've left in the bottom for stuffing purposes. I've not quite finished the stuffing yet. And also I might pull the eyes and beak in through the body, just to make them sort of go into the head a bit instead of sticking out. I'm quite happy with how it's turned out. It looks Furby shaped, as you can see, with the mane there. I'm happy with all that. I love this fur. This fur was really expensive, but I tell you what, making manes out of it is really good. I did a Kazi Cat mane as well out of this fur, and it looks really good on them. And of course the big fluffy tail. You can just about see how it's attached to the Furby. The only things I think that I would change next time is the ears need to be lower down and a bit wider. They're too high up on the head, I think. I wanted the mane to sort of just be like between them like that, but the mane's not really wide enough to sort of to just leave the mane between them and nothing else. There's going to have to be some space either side of the mane, because it's not really worked like that. I think the ears are way too high on the head. Furby's ears are a little bit lower. Unless you look at the Furby buddies, the 90s Furby buddies, they are a little bit they're a little bit higher, but then they're quite small plushies. His feet also I think need to be bigger. I think that they're not quite big enough. They don't stick out enough, but only a little bit bigger. That's, you know, that's it's okay. Other than that, I think the toes worked out quite well on the feet. I was actually going to stitch toes on them, and I cut them, and yeah, I was going to stitch toes on them. But to be fair, they've worked out all right. I may modify how I attach the feet to the body, but I don't know. Or maybe just stuff the feet a bit more. As you can see, the body is a little bit of a funny shape because of course I cut that side piece wrong. I cut them both facing the same way. So this side piece I think is the one that came out okay. And this side piece, actually I'm not sure which one it was now, but it certainly made poor old Furby be a bit wonky. That won't happen on the other plushies, they will be the same. Yeah, I think it's this side. I think that side that I cut wrongly, so you can see that he goes out a little bit more this side, and that's because this side obviously has the bump for his bottom on that side instead of that side because I cut it wrong. But I suppose we all make mistakes. This is a prototype and the next one I make will be better. I'm a little bit bummed, I suppose, that I used the nice material, but I'm quite happy with how he's turned out. I really do like the mane and tail. I think they've turned out really well, and I do like the shape that I did for the pattern as well. I think the front is wide enough without being too wide, because I don't want him to be a total ball. I think with the ears lower down on the head, it won't pull this bit in as much at the top, because how it's pulled in there, it just doesn't look right. It looks like the head's been pulled up a bit. So yeah, that's I think that looks alright. Oddly enough, this side of the tummy looks better than that side of the tummy. I need to work the stuffing a little bit more, because I had what was left of my previous bag of stuffing, which was only just enough to stuff this plush, but not fully. My other bag of stuffing I haven't opened yet. It's downstairs. But as you can see, this ear here is higher up than the other ear. Again, because of how I cut the pattern pieces, it really makes a difference. If you cut the pieces wrong, it just turns out wonky. But guaranteed I will do my next one better. This is just a prototype, as I said. Anyway, the next thing I want to do is add his eyes and beak. And the eyes look really, really odd. That looks very strange. They'll look better with eyelids, you know, eyelashes. It looks like, I don't know, a cat that's been surprised, or maybe an owl or something. Yeah, it looks very strange. But I think that the eyes, as they are, kind of work. I did give him a big tummy patch, and that's because the older Furbies, their tummy patches go pretty much up to the bottom of their beak. And I also need to place the eyes and beak in, you know, in a way that would make the Furby look cute as well. But once the eyes have eyelids on, like I said, I'll give him a sleepy look, and he'll look cuter then. At the moment, he's just a shape, really, I suppose. So more in the next update. They might look a little bit strange, but these are the eyes and the beak for the Furby. Beak looks really weird, but it will kind of look like that when it's done, obviously. For the eyes, I used these eye cabochons that I got from Etsy, and I've put polymer clay for eyelids, and you can see here it's got a loop at the back so that I can pull them tight to the face so they sort of sit in instead of sticking out. And I will use glue as well. The eyelashes I've decided I'm going to put on after I've applied the eyes to the Furby, because I don't want to mess the eyelashes up while I'm putting the eyes on. And the Furby itself I'm going to have to stuff a little bit more and then put the facial features on it. So that's what you'll see next. Well, here he is with his eyes and beak on. I've actually sewn up the hole that was down here where I was doing all the work on, putting the basically what I did was I took the thread through those loops in the back of the eyes and beak and took them down through his body so that I could pull them into the head a little bit so they're kind of set in. His beak does look a little bit of a mess. I mean, it's alright, but it's just, I made a circle with the polymer clay and well, you know, a sphere, and when I went to cut it, it kind of squished it a bit, but it's alright. I don't think it's too bad. I mean, this is my first attempt, and he's only a prototype for what I'm planning to do, hopefully selling in my Etsy store. So next, eyelashes. And here he is, all finished. You can see he's got proper eyelashes there. They're quite delicate, the eyelashes, so obviously if I sell these on my store, I will tell people to be careful of the eyelashes. The eyelashes, if they break or anything, they are replaceable. You can just buy false eyelashes and put them on him. I figured it was easier to just buy false eyelashes than make my own. So, he should sit up. There we go. And there he is. People have been asking me to make a Furby plush for ages, and I finally made one. So I'll have to say thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the creation of the Furby. You can check out the boxes below for more videos on art and plushies. I'll put up my art playlist and my plushie playlist. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with him actually. He turned out well. I think if I had any critique, it would be, like I said, the ears need to be further apart and slightly wider. The feet need to be a bit bigger, I think. And maybe I can do the beak a little bit, perhaps flatter or perhaps a little bit wider. So, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep being awesome. This is Silver, signing off.